The Life-Changing Power of Choosing to Improve, written by Justin Tracy, published by Simple Audiobooks. Introduction. The life-changing power of choosing to improve is an in-depth exploration of how our choices fundamentally shape who we are, where we go, and the quality of our lives. The book argues that every decision we make, whether large or seemingly insignificant, acts as a building block in the foundation of our personal and professional lives. By understanding the weight of these choices and making them with greater intention, individuals can unlock a profound capacity for growth, transformation, and self-actualization. It reframes the concept of improvement, moving away from the overwhelming notion of drastic life overhauls, and instead focusing on the incremental power of small, consistent actions that align with our values and goals. The book begins by highlighting the often overlooked reality that humans operate on autopilot much of the time, driven by habits, routines, and deeply ingrained beliefs. It calls attention to the need to break free from this automatic mode and approach life with mindfulness, where every choice is deliberate and purposeful. This mindfulness leads to a heightened sense of self-awareness, helping individuals identify areas of their lives where they feel stagnant or unfulfilled. The book introduces tools to assess these areas, such as journaling, introspection, and visualization, to create a clear picture of what improvement means on an individual level. Central to the narrative is the idea that improvement is a dynamic, lifelong process rather than a static goal. The book uses real-life examples to illustrate how seemingly small changes, like committing to daily exercise, reading 10 pages of a book, or cutting down on distractions, can lead to compounding benefits over time. This compounding effect, as explained in the book, mirrors the principle of compound interest, where small, consistent investments yield exponential returns. By applying this principle to life, individuals can make progress in areas like health, relationships, career, and personal development without feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of their ambitions. The book also delves into the psychological barriers that prevent people from embracing improvement. It explains how fear of failure, procrastination, and limiting beliefs act as roadblocks to growth. Through actionable strategies, such as reframing failure as a learning opportunity, setting realistic goals, and practicing self-compassion, readers are equipped to confront and overcome these challenges. The book emphasizes the importance of resilience and adaptability, arguing that setbacks are not indicators of failure, but are essential components of the growth journey. By learning to navigate obstacles with a positive mindset, individuals can remain motivated and committed to their path. Another key aspect of the book is its focus on the interconnectedness of improvement. It argues that personal growth is not isolated, but creates a ripple effect that influences every aspect of life. For example, improving communication skills can strengthen relationships, which in turn enhances emotional well-being. Similarly, adopting healthier habits can boost energy levels, leading to greater productivity at work. The book provides numerous case studies and anecdotes that demonstrate how these interconnected changes create a life filled with purpose, balance, and fulfillment. The life-changing power of choosing to improve also explores the role of accountability in sustaining growth. It encourages readers to build systems that keep them on track, such as setting clear metrics for progress, finding mentors or accountability partners, and celebrating milestones along the way. By acknowledging and rewarding small wins, individuals can maintain momentum and stay motivated to continue improving. Ultimately, the book serves as both a guide and an inspiration for anyone seeking a better version of themselves. It challenges readers to take full ownership of their lives, recognizing that the power to improve lies within their choices, no matter how small or significant. With a mix of motivational insights, scientific principles, and practical advice, the book equips readers to step out of their comfort zones and take consistent, meaningful steps toward a life that reflects their deepest aspirations. It leaves readers with the empowering message that change is always within reach, and the journey of improvement begins with a single, intentional decision. Chapter 1. The Power of Choice. Chapter 1 explores the transformative nature of choice, presenting it as the cornerstone of personal growth and self-determination. It begins by challenging the common misconception that our lives are primarily shaped by circumstances or external forces, instead emphasizing that the decisions we make, big or small, are what truly determine the trajectory of our journey. This chapter dives into the concept of awareness, urging readers to examine how much of their daily decision-making is done unconsciously, guided by ingrained habits, societal expectations, or external influences, rather than intentional, thoughtful deliberation. By becoming more mindful of their choices, individuals can begin to break free from the inertia of routine and create a life that aligns with their values and aspirations. The chapter meticulously unpacks how seemingly trivial decisions, such as choosing to read a book instead of scrolling on social media or opting for a healthy snack over junk food, accumulate over time to produce significant results. This compounding effect, referred to as the ripple effect of choice, highlights how small, consistent actions can lead to monumental transformations in health, relationships, career, and overall fulfillment. It provides numerous real-world examples and anecdotes to illustrate how people who took control of their choices, even in the face of adversity, managed to reshape their lives entirely. These stories serve to inspire and motivate readers, showing that change is always within reach. A significant portion of the chapter addresses the barriers to making empowered choices, such as fear of failure, self-doubt, and the overwhelming nature of decision-making itself. It offers actionable strategies to overcome these obstacles, such as breaking decisions down into smaller, manageable steps, practicing self-compassion, and developing a mindset that views mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. The chapter also explores the psychological phenomenon of analysis paralysis, where an abundance of options leads to inaction, and provides tools to simplify decision-making processes, such as prioritizing values, setting clear goals, and trusting one's intuition. The chapter further contrasts reactive and proactive decision-making. Reactive decisions are driven by external triggers and immediate emotions, often leading to short-term satisfaction but long-term dissatisfaction. Proactive decisions, on the other hand, involve careful consideration of long-term consequences and alignment with one's goals and values. Readers are encouraged to pause, reflect, and ask themselves whether their choices are steering them toward their desired future or merely keeping them stuck in place. Another key theme in the chapter is the power of saying no. It stresses that every yes comes with an inherent no, as choosing one path often means foregoing another. By learning to say no to distractions, unhealthy relationships, or opportunities that do not align with their goals, readers can create space for the things that truly matter. This perspective is reinforced with practical advice on setting boundaries and managing time effectively. The chapter also touches on the role of intuition in decision-making, arguing that while logic and analysis are essential, intuition often serves as an invaluable guide, especially in complex or emotionally charged situations. Readers are encouraged to tune into their inner voice and trust their instincts when faced with uncertainty. Additionally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's choices, reframing failures as learning opportunities, and recognizing that even choosing not to decide is, in itself, a choice. Ultimately, this chapter serves as a wake-up call and a source of empowerment, reminding readers that they hold the key to their future in the choices they make today. It inspires a shift from passive living to active engagement, encouraging readers to view every decision as a chance to create a better, more fulfilling life. By embracing the power of choice, the chapter argues, individuals can overcome obstacles, break free from limitations, and take charge of their destiny, one thoughtful decision at a time. It sets the stage for the rest of the book by laying a solid foundation for understanding how incremental, intentional choices can lead to profound personal transformation. Chapter 2. Breaking Through Limiting Beliefs. Chapter 2 is a profound exploration of the mental barriers created by limiting beliefs and how they prevent individuals from reaching their full potential. It begins by explaining that limiting beliefs are deeply rooted perceptions we accept as truths, often without questioning their validity. These beliefs frequently originate from early life experiences, societal expectations, or negative encounters where failure, criticism, or rejection shaped our self-image. Over time, they embed themselves in our subconscious, subtly influencing every decision we make and forming an invisible barrier that holds us back from pursuing our goals, exploring new opportunities, or even believing in our own worth. The chapter delves into the psychological mechanisms behind limiting beliefs, such as confirmation bias, which leads individuals to seek evidence that reinforces these beliefs while ignoring contradictory information. For instance, someone who believes they are incapable of public speaking might focus solely on their past struggles, while dismissing moments of effective communication. By illustrating this with relatable scenarios, the chapter sheds light on how these mental constructs operate and why they often feel so difficult to overcome. It emphasizes that while limiting beliefs may feel like absolute truths, they are, in reality, stories we tell ourselves based on subjective interpretations of past events. To help readers identify their own limiting beliefs, the chapter introduces a series of reflective practices, such as journaling prompts designed to uncover recurring patterns of self-doubt or fear. For example, readers are encouraged to examine statements they regularly tell themselves, like "I can't," "I shouldn't," or "it's impossible," and trace these thoughts back to their origins. By bringing these beliefs into conscious awareness, individuals can begin the process of deconstructing them. The chapter underscores that recognizing these mental blocks is the first and most crucial step in breaking free from their grip. Once identified, the chapter provides actionable strategies for overcoming limiting beliefs. It introduces the concept of reframing, viewing the same situation from a different perspective. For example, instead of seeing a past failure as evidence of incompetence, it can be reframed as a valuable learning experience that contributes to growth. The use of positive affirmations is highlighted as a tool to rewire the subconscious mind, replacing negative thought patterns with empowering ones. Readers are encouraged to consistently affirm statements like, "I'm capable of learning and succeeding," to gradually shift their internal dialogue. The chapter also explores the transformative power of visualization, guiding readers to vividly imagine themselves achieving goals they previously thought unattainable. This mental rehearsal helps reinforce new, empowering beliefs and builds confidence. In addition, it stresses the importance of seeking out supportive environments, friends, mentors, or communities that uplift and challenge limiting narratives rather than reinforce them. Surrounding oneself with people who model possibility and success can serve as a powerful catalyst for change. Real-life stories are woven throughout the chapter to illustrate how individuals have successfully overcome their limiting beliefs. From someone who transformed their fear of failure into entrepreneurial success to another who broke free from cultural expectations to follow a passion. These examples serve as inspiration and proof that it is possible to rewrite one's internal narrative. The chapter also addresses common setbacks, such as the tendency to revert to old patterns under stress, and provides techniques for maintaining progress, like mindfulness practices and self-compassion, to stay resilient in the face of challenges. Finally, the chapter emphasizes that breaking through limiting beliefs is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of self-awareness, growth, and intentional effort. It leaves readers with the powerful message that their beliefs do not define their reality, and by challenging these mental constructs, they can open themselves to a world of possibilities. This process of liberation empowers readers to pursue their goals with courage, embrace their full potential, and live a life unbound by the constraints of old, unexamined beliefs. Through this chapter, readers gain both the tools and the inspiration to transform their mindset and step into a more empowered and fulfilling version of themselves. Chapter 3. The Ripple Effect of Small Changes. Chapter 3 deeply explores the transformative impact of small, consistent changes, showing how these seemingly minor adjustments can set off a cascade of positive effects across every aspect of life. It begins by dispelling the myth that significant change requires massive, immediate efforts, arguing instead that lasting transformations often stem from the cumulative impact of small, deliberate actions performed over time. The chapter examines how minor improvements in habits like drinking an extra glass of water daily, dedicating 5 minutes to meditation, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator can compound into profound results. This compounding effect, described as the ripple effect, is likened to a pebble dropped into a still pond, where the initial action creates waves that expand far beyond the point of impact, touching and transforming areas that may initially seem unrelated. Through practical examples and relatable scenarios, the chapter illustrates how these small changes not only improve the immediate area of focus, but also influence broader aspects of life. For instance, committing to a brief daily exercise routine may initially improve physical health, but can also enhance mental clarity, increase energy levels, and boost confidence, which in turn positively affects work performance and personal relationships. The chapter highlights how interconnected our lives are, with each small improvement triggering a domino effect of benefits that accumulate in ways often unforeseen at the outset. The chapter delves into the psychology of habit formation, explaining how small changes are easier to adopt and sustain compared to drastic overhauls, which often lead to burnout or discouragement. It emphasizes the importance of starting with manageable steps that fit seamlessly into existing routines, gradually building momentum as these actions become habitual. This process of incremental progress is supported by neuroscience, which shows that consistent repetition strengthens neural pathways, making new habits more ingrained and automatic over time. Readers are guided through techniques for identifying areas where small changes can have the most significant impact, and are encouraged to celebrate even the smallest wins to reinforce motivation and maintain momentum. To drive the point home, the chapter provides compelling anecdotes of individuals who achieved extraordinary outcomes by focusing on small, consistent actions, from someone who transformed their finances by saving a small amount daily to another who rebuilt their health by walking just a few minutes each day. These stories illustrate the exponential power of the ripple effect. The chapter also introduces the idea of keystone habits, which are small actions that have a disproportionate impact because they naturally lead to the adoption of other positive behaviors. For example, starting a habit of making one's bed each morning can lead to a greater sense of order and discipline that extends to other areas, such as sticking to schedules or maintaining a healthier lifestyle. The chapter addresses common obstacles to implementing small changes, such as impatience or the tendency to underestimate their importance, and offers strategies for staying committed. Readers are encouraged to focus on long-term gains rather than immediate results, recognizing that the true power of small changes lies in their compounding effect over time. By visualizing the long-term benefits of consistent effort, readers can overcome the temptation to give up prematurely. The chapter also introduces the concept of tracking progress, as even minor improvements become more tangible and rewarding when documented. In addition, the chapter explores how small changes influence the people around us, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the individual. A single act of kindness or positivity can inspire others to do the same, fostering a culture of growth and support within families, workplaces, and communities. By embracing the ripple effect, readers are shown how their personal growth can contribute to a larger collective transformation, amplifying the impact of their actions. Ultimately, the chapter reinforces the idea that the journey towards significant change begins with a single, intentional step. It urges readers to let go of the need for perfection or immediate results, instead trusting the process and focusing on consistent, incremental progress. It assures them that no effort is too small to matter, as even the tiniest positive action can spark a wave of transformation that extends far beyond what they might initially imagine. By embracing the ripple effect of small changes, readers are empowered to take control of their lives, build momentum toward their goals, and create a future defined by meaningful and lasting growth. Chapter 4. The Habit of Continuous Learning. Chapter 4 provides a deep exploration of the habit of continuous learning, emphasizing that personal and professional growth hinges on the mindset that learning is a lifelong endeavor. It argues that learning is not something confined to the structured settings of schools or universities, but is an ongoing process that should permeate all stages of life. The chapter suggests that adopting continuous learning as a daily habit transforms the way individuals perceive themselves and the world around them. It explains that in an era defined by rapid technological advancements, shifting social dynamics, and evolving career landscapes, the ability to learn and adapt is more important than ever. The chapter illustrates that those who stop learning risk falling behind, while those who embrace learning as an integral part of life are better equipped to face challenges, seize new opportunities, and stay relevant in their careers. It further explains how continuous learning doesn't just apply to acquiring new knowledge, but extends to developing skills, exploring diverse interests, and expanding one's perspective on life. For example, learning a new language, picking up a musical instrument, or developing a new professional skill, coding or graphic design, can all contribute to personal growth. The chapter emphasizes that learning is not just about adding to one's bank of knowledge, but is also about adapting to changing environments, thinking critically, and finding innovative solutions to problems. This adaptability, the chapter suggests, is what sets successful individuals apart from those who become rigid in their thinking or stuck in outdated methods. The chapter dives into the importance of curiosity as the driving force behind lifelong learning. It stresses that curiosity is not just about having an interest in learning, but also about being open to discovering new ideas, exploring unfamiliar territory, and questioning existing beliefs. By cultivating curiosity, individuals can push themselves beyond the limits of their current understanding, embrace new viewpoints, and challenge their assumptions. The chapter highlights that embracing curiosity is a key component of developing a growth mindset, which sees every challenge as an opportunity for learning rather than a roadblock. This mindset fosters resilience, as individuals with a growth-oriented approach are more likely to see failure as part of the learning process rather than as something to avoid. The chapter also provides practical ways to incorporate learning into everyday life, arguing that small, consistent steps towards self-education can make a profound impact over time. It encourages readers to make learning a habit by setting aside time each day to read books, listen to podcasts, attend online courses, or engage in conversations with knowledgeable people. Even small actions, such as dedicating 10 minutes a day to learning something new, can add up over time, resulting in significant personal transformation. The chapter emphasizes that learning doesn't always have to be formal or structured. Informal learning, such as learning from life experiences or through conversations with others, can be just as valuable. Another significant aspect of the chapter is the mental and emotional benefits of lifelong learning. The act of continually expanding one's knowledge and capabilities can boost self-confidence, as it fosters a sense of accomplishment and competence. It also provides individuals with a greater sense of purpose, as they begin to see themselves as active participants in their own growth rather than passive recipients of knowledge. The chapter also connects continuous learning with emotional resilience, explaining that those who continuously develop their knowledge and skills are more adaptable in the face of adversity, better able to cope with setbacks, and more equipped to handle the uncertainties that life often brings. Furthermore, the chapter addresses the role of mentors and learning communities in continuous learning. It suggests that surrounding oneself with people who encourage growth, challenge assumptions, and offer new perspectives is crucial to fostering a learning mindset. Whether through a formal mentorship arrangement, participating in professional networks, or joining online communities. Being part of a group that values learning can significantly enhance personal development. The chapter stresses the importance of seeking out people who inspire and challenge you to think differently, as these relationships can be catalytic for growth. The chapter also touches on the social and professional advantages of being a lifelong learner. In the workplace, those who prioritize learning are more likely to be seen as leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. It discusses how continuous learning makes individuals more attractive to employers, as it demonstrates a commitment to self-improvement, adaptability, and staying current with industry trends. The chapter underscores that in fields where technology is rapidly changing, those who remain static in their knowledge will find themselves at a disadvantage, whereas those who continually upskill are more likely to thrive and be promoted. The chapter also highlights the significance of reflection in the learning process. It discusses how, in addition to acquiring new knowledge, it's crucial to take time to reflect on what has been learned, assess progress, and adjust goals accordingly. Reflection allows individuals to understand their growth more clearly, celebrate their successes, and identify areas where further learning is needed. It also helps solidify the learning and turn new knowledge into a lasting skill or habit. Finally, the chapter encourages readers to shift their perception of learning from a task or chore to an enriching part of life's journey. Rather than seeing it as something optional or supplementary, continuous learning is framed as an essential, fulfilling practice that enhances every area of life. The chapter concludes by reinforcing the idea that learning is not just about acquiring facts, but about evolving as a person, enriching relationships, and becoming more connected to the world around us. By committing to continuous learning, individuals open themselves up to boundless possibilities for personal, professional, and emotional growth, ensuring that they remain adaptable, engaged, and capable of thriving in an ever-changing world. Chapter 5: Mindset Mastery. Shifting Perspectives. Chapter 5 takes a deep dive into the powerful concept of mindset mastery, presenting it as a crucial factor for personal transformation and success. It begins by exploring the idea that mindset is not an innate quality, but something that can be developed and adjusted over time. The chapter suggests that the way individuals perceive the world around them, their capabilities, and their challenges shapes how they interact with their environment and how they approach their goals. The primary message is that our mindset acts as the lens through which we view every aspect of life, and by mastering this lens, we can significantly alter the course of our lives. The chapter underscores the fact that many people live their lives constrained by a fixed mindset, a belief that their abilities, intelligence, and circumstances are predetermined and unchangeable. This mindset often leads to a sense of helplessness and a resistance to change, as individuals who hold this view tend to avoid challenges and are discouraged by setbacks, believing that failure indicates a lack of inherent ability. The chapter contrasts this with a growth mindset, which is built on the idea that intelligence and skills can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It explains that those with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges, see failures as opportunities for growth, and persist through difficulties, knowing that progress comes from the effort put into overcoming obstacles. The chapter elaborates on how individuals with a growth mindset understand that setbacks are not permanent, and that success is not guaranteed by innate talent, but by resilience, adaptability, and continuous learning. They recognize that challenges are part of the learning process, not something to be avoided. The text highlights how adopting a growth mindset can dramatically shift a person's attitude toward personal growth, helping them break through barriers that they previously thought insurmountable. In the context of career and personal development, the chapter reveals how individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to take on new opportunities, seek feedback, and push beyond their comfort zones. It shows how this mindset fosters innovation, creativity, and a willingness to experiment, all of which are crucial for success in today's fast-paced world. Another significant aspect of this chapter is the importance of self-awareness in shifting mindset. It encourages individuals to examine their current thought patterns and beliefs, challenging any negative or limiting beliefs that may have been internalized over the years. It provides insight into how these beliefs, often formed early in life, can shape one's view of themselves and the world in ways that hold them back. The chapter suggests practical strategies for identifying and confronting these limiting beliefs, such as journaling, mindfulness, and seeking external perspectives. By becoming aware of the negative self-talk and unhelpful narratives that people often repeat to themselves, individuals can take the first step toward changing those patterns. The chapter explains how these beliefs can limit potential, often creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where people unconsciously sabotage their own efforts because they believe they are incapable of succeeding. The shift from this limiting mindset to a more expansive, growth-oriented mindset begins with the recognition that these beliefs are not facts, but just thoughts that can be changed. The chapter also emphasizes the profound impact of positive thinking and constructive self-talk on mindset mastery. It discusses how the words people use to describe themselves and their circumstances can influence their actions and, ultimately, their outcomes. The chapter explains that by consciously choosing to speak positively about one's self-reinforcing beliefs in one's abilities, resilience, and potential, individuals can create a more empowering inner dialogue that supports their growth. It goes further to discuss the neuroscience behind this idea, explaining how repeated positive thinking can rewire the brain, making individuals more inclined to approach challenges with confidence and optimism. The chapter suggests that by replacing negative self-talk with affirmations, encouraging thoughts, and reframing problems as opportunities to learn, individuals can gradually retrain their minds to see the possibilities rather than the limitations. The chapter also highlights the importance of reframing challenges, rather than seeing obstacles as roadblocks or insurmountable difficulties. The chapter encourages readers to view them as stepping stones to greater knowledge and success. It explains that mindset mastery involves the ability to reframe negative experiences in a way that emphasizes learning and growth rather than failure. This shift in perspective helps to reduce the fear of failure, which often paralyzes individuals from taking risks or pursuing their goals. By learning to view setbacks as temporary and surmountable, individuals can develop greater resilience and perseverance. The chapter uses examples of successful people who encountered numerous failures but, through the lens of a growth mindset, use those failures as opportunities to refine their approach and ultimately achieve success. The role of gratitude in mindset mastery is another critical point explored in the chapter. It discusses how cultivating a practice of gratitude can significantly shift one's perspective on life. By regularly focusing on what one is thankful for, rather than what is lacking or going wrong, individuals can foster a positive and growth-oriented mindset. Gratitude helps people to reframe their thoughts, recognizing the abundance that exists in their lives, rather than focusing solely on challenges. The chapter explains that this shift in perspective leads to greater overall happiness and a deeper sense of fulfillment as individuals begin to appreciate their journey rather than just fixating on their destination. Additionally, the chapter stresses the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences, including mentors, role models, and supportive communities. It explains how the people one interacts with can either reinforce limiting beliefs or help expand one's mindset. Being around individuals who embody a growth mindset can inspire others to adopt similar perspectives, fostering an environment where learning and growth are prioritized. The chapter encourages readers to seek out relationships that challenge them to think differently, push their boundaries, and encourage them to grow, as these connections can be pivotal in shifting one's mindset. The chapter also acknowledges that mindset mastery is an ongoing process. It does not happen overnight, but is a gradual shift that requires consistent effort, self-reflection, and practice. It emphasizes that mindset changes are not easy, especially for those who have spent years operating under a fixed mindset, but with time, these changes become ingrained and natural. The chapter encourages readers to be patient with themselves as they navigate this transformation, knowing that every small step counts. It also provides practical tools for maintaining a positive and growth-focused mindset, such as journaling, visualization, goal setting, and creating affirmations. Finally, the chapter concludes by reiterating the power of perspective in shaping one's life. It explains that through mindset mastery, individuals can cultivate a life that aligns with their true potential, not limited by fear or self-doubt, but driven by the belief that anything is possible with the right mindset. By consciously shifting their perspectives, embracing growth, and committing to continuous self-improvement, individuals can unlock a life filled with opportunities, resilience, and success. Chapter 6. The role of resilience in improvement. Chapter 6 dives deep into the essential role that resilience plays in continuous self-improvement, offering a comprehensive examination of how it supports personal growth and the ability to overcome adversity. Resilience, the chapter explains, is more than just the capacity to recover from challenges. It's about how an individual uses each obstacle as a springboard for personal growth. Resilience enables people only to endure tough situations, but to learn, adapt, and grow stronger from those experiences. The chapter begins by defining resilience as the ability to adapt positively when faced with adversity or hardship, framing it as a necessary trait for anyone striving to improve themselves or their situation. Unlike the common perception that resilient people simply bounce back from difficulties, the chapter describes resilience as an active process involving transformation. Resilient individuals don't just go back to where they were before a setback. They emerge from challenges with new skills, insights, and a more profound understanding of their own potential. The chapter goes on to explore the dynamic nature of resilience, emphasizing that it isn't an innate quality, but a skill that can be developed and nurtured. One of the central tenets of this discussion is that resilience grows through experience. It isn't something that comes naturally in the face of hardship, but rather something that is built over time, through repeated exposure to challenges and setbacks. The chapter stresses that each failure or difficult experience offers an opportunity to strengthen one's resilience. For instance, the initial shock of failure or disappointment may feel overwhelming, but as individuals face and process those emotions, they gradually learn how to cope and maintain focus on their larger goals. This process of emotional regulation and problem-solving builds an internal reservoir of strength that can be drawn upon in future difficulties. The more resilient people become, the better they get at managing stress, fear, and anxiety in the face of adversity, which contributes to their ability to persevere despite obstacles. Additionally, the chapter highlights the importance of reframing setbacks as opportunities rather than failures. It explains that resilient individuals are skilled at viewing challenges from a different perspective, seeing them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones for learning and growth. They don't let a failure define them. Instead, they view it as feedback on what to improve. This shift in mindset, the chapter explains, is a crucial aspect of resilience. For example, when faced with failure, a resilient person might ask themselves, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I use this experience to become better?" This kind of thinking helps to turn a negative experience into a valuable lesson, encouraging an individual to persist rather than give up. The chapter makes it clear that resilience requires a shift away from an all-or-nothing mentality and a willingness to embrace imperfection and progress, rather than perfection. The emotional component of resilience is also explored in depth in the chapter. Emotional resilience, the ability to manage one's emotions in difficult circumstances, is a skill that enables individuals to maintain control over their reactions, even when confronted with overwhelming stress or adversity. The chapter discusses how developing emotional resilience involves becoming aware of one's emotional responses and learning how to handle them in a healthy way. Rather than suppressing emotions like frustration, sadness, or anger, resilient individuals acknowledge and process these feelings. They may use techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, or talking to a trusted friend or mentor to work through their emotions, which prevents them from being consumed by negative feelings. The chapter also discusses how emotional resilience can prevent burnout, as individuals with this quality tend to recover more quickly from emotional exhaustion. By acknowledging their feelings and processing them, they prevent emotions from hindering their progress toward improvement. The chapter also delves into the idea that resilience is tied to a person's sense of self-efficacy, the belief in their ability to influence outcomes through their actions. People who feel capable of handling challenges are more likely to persevere in the face of adversity. The chapter explains that individuals with a strong sense of self-efficacy don't just feel resilient in the face of hardship. They also believe they have the power to change their circumstances. This belief fuels motivation and provides the determination needed to keep going when things get tough. By focusing on what can be controlled, such as thoughts, behaviors, and responses, resilient individuals empower themselves to keep taking positive actions despite external setbacks. The chapter also highlights the importance of support systems in building resilience. It explains that no one can become truly resilient in isolation, as the encouragement and guidance of others are integral to personal growth. Resilience is not about going it alone. It's about learning how to rely on others for support when needed and knowing how to ask for help. The chapter discusses how having a network of supportive people, whether family, friends, mentors, or colleagues, can provide both emotional and practical assistance when facing challenges. This support can help alleviate feelings of loneliness or despair and provide reassurance during tough times. The chapter makes the case that the strength to persevere can often come from knowing that others believe in your potential, which helps individuals stay motivated even when they encounter difficulties. Another essential aspect the chapter addresses is the role of goals in cultivating resilience. It emphasizes that people with clear, meaningful goals are more likely to be resilient in the face of adversity. Having a sense of purpose keeps individuals focused, even when things don't go according to plan. The chapter explains that setting long-term and short-term goals creates a sense of direction, which helps to combat the feelings of confusion and frustration that often arise in difficult situations. When setbacks occur, resilient people are able to refocus on their goals and break them down into manageable steps, making the process of overcoming challenges less overwhelming. This ability to maintain clarity and focus on one's goals is a key trait that sustains resilience through difficult times. The chapter also touches upon how resilience contributes to adaptability. It explains that resilient individuals tend to be flexible in their approach to life and are willing to adjust their plans as needed. Life is often unpredictable, and situations rarely go as planned. Resilience helps individuals embrace change and remain open to new opportunities, rather than resisting or being discouraged by unexpected turns. The chapter describes how resilient people understand that adaptation is a necessary part of progress, and they are not deterred by changes that may require them to reassess their strategies or pivot to new approaches. They view change as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Resilience, the chapter asserts, also plays a critical role in cultivating a mindset of perseverance. It describes how resilient individuals are characterized by their ability to keep going, no matter how challenging the journey becomes. Rather than succumbing to failure or hardship, they persist, knowing that their efforts will eventually pay off. The chapter highlights that this perseverance, combined with the other aspects of resilience, helps individuals develop an unshakable belief in their capacity to navigate life's difficulties. With this belief, individuals can keep taking action toward improvement, even when the path is unclear or challenging. In conclusion, the chapter reinforces the idea that resilience is not a passive trait, but an active skill that individuals can develop and strengthen. It asserts that anyone can build resilience with time, practice, and dedication, and that it is through resilience that individuals find the strength to keep improving and pushing forward, regardless of what life throws their way. By understanding the multifaceted nature of resilience, embracing emotional regulation, building self-efficacy, cultivating supportive relationships, and maintaining clarity of purpose, individuals can navigate challenges with greater confidence and determination, ultimately leading to long-term improvement in every area of their lives. Chapter 7. Improvement in relationships. Chapter 7 delves deeply into how improving relationships plays a central role in the overall process of self-improvement, emphasizing that our connections with others significantly impact our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The chapter begins by underlining that relationships are foundational to the human experience, whether with family, friends, romantic partners, or colleagues, and that nurturing these relationships can directly enhance personal development. It emphasizes that healthy, meaningful relationships are not only sources of joy and support, but also serve as mirrors that reflect our strengths and areas for growth. The chapter asserts that improving relationships starts with deepening our understanding of others through effective communication, which is the primary vehicle for resolving misunderstandings and strengthening bonds. It discusses the importance of open, honest dialogue in cultivating trust, explaining that when people feel safe to express their thoughts, emotions, and concerns, it creates a supportive space for growth and collaboration. The chapter explores how communication extends beyond words, emphasizing nonverbal cues, body language, and active listening as crucial components of effective interaction. Listening attentively, without interrupting or prematurely offering solutions, fosters empathy and understanding, allowing individuals to truly hear one another and address underlying issues in relationships. Moreover, the chapter stresses that for relationships to improve, there must be mutual respect and understanding. It explains that respect is the cornerstone of all strong relationships, where each person acknowledges the other's value and unique experiences. Respect involves not only valuing each other's perspectives and opinions, but also recognizing boundaries, personal, emotional, and physical. The chapter discusses how respecting boundaries in relationships contributes to feelings of safety and autonomy, allowing individuals to grow independently while still fostering connection. It also highlights that improvement in relationships is deeply connected to emotional intelligence, which involves being in tune with one's own emotions and the emotions of others. The chapter elaborates on how emotional intelligence facilitates greater empathy and conflict resolution, helping individuals navigate disagreements in a way that strengthens rather than weakens their bond. The chapter also discusses the critical role that vulnerability plays in improving relationships, suggesting that individuals who are willing to share their true selves, including their fears, hopes, and insecurities, can build deeper connections with others. By opening up, individuals allow others to do the same, fostering an environment of trust and authenticity. The chapter explains that while vulnerability requires courage, it is also essential for emotional intimacy, as it enables both parties to be seen for who they truly are, without pretense. Another key aspect discussed in the chapter is the idea of continuous self-awareness in relationships. It emphasizes that in order to improve relationships, individuals must first understand their own needs, triggers, and emotional patterns. This level of self-awareness allows individuals to respond thoughtfully to situations rather than reacting impulsively, preventing misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict. The chapter discusses how becoming more mindful of one's own emotional responses, whether through reflection, journaling, or therapy, can lead to healthier, more balanced interactions. It also points out that understanding one's own limitations and insecurities is crucial in maintaining healthy relationships, as these insights help individuals avoid projecting personal struggles onto others. The chapter emphasizes that as people grow in self-awareness, they naturally become better partners, friends, and colleagues because they approach their relationships from a place of emotional maturity and empathy. The chapter also dives into the notion of forgiveness, explaining that relationships are inevitably subject to conflict, and the ability to forgive both oneself and others is essential for relational growth. It describes how harboring resentment or grudges can create emotional walls, preventing individuals from fully connecting with others. Forgiveness, however, allows for the release of negative emotions, opening up space for healing and growth. The chapter stresses that forgiveness is not about excusing hurtful behavior, but about choosing to release the emotional hold that anger or resentment has over an individual's well-being. The chapter suggests that through forgiveness, individuals learn to embrace imperfection both in themselves and in others, allowing for the kind of vulnerability and trust that strengthens relationships. Furthermore, it suggests that forgiveness can be a powerful tool in transforming negative cycles in relationships, helping people to break free from patterns of blame and conflict and instead create new, more positive dynamics. Additionally, the chapter addresses the importance of emotional support in relationships, which is vital not only for personal growth, but also for overcoming challenges. Emotional support from loved ones acts as a buffer against stress, offering encouragement during tough times and celebrating successes during happy ones. The chapter explains that relationships thrive when individuals feel seen, heard, and validated, which strengthens the emotional bond and fosters a sense of belonging. It also emphasizes that providing support to others is just as important as receiving it, as offering empathy and understanding can deepen relationships and provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment. The chapter also discusses how acts of kindness, such as offering a listening ear, showing appreciation, or lending a helping hand, can significantly enhance the quality of relationships. Small gestures of kindness go a long way in demonstrating care and respect, and over time, they contribute to the overall improvement of the relationship. The chapter also highlights the role of conflict resolution in relational improvement, emphasizing that disagreements are natural, and that how they are handled determines the health of the relationship. It suggests that resolving conflicts in a constructive manner by focusing on the issue at hand, rather than attacking the other person, can lead to mutual growth. The chapter offers practical advice for navigating conflict, such as taking a step back when emotions are high, listening without judgment, and finding common ground through compromise. The chapter asserts that couples, friends, or colleagues who are adept at resolving conflicts in a healthy way not only strengthen their bond, but also create a foundation of trust and respect that can weather future disagreements. The chapter also explores the idea that relationships are not static. They require ongoing effort and nurturing. It highlights the importance of making intentional efforts to improve relationships, whether by spending quality time together, expressing appreciation, or engaging in shared activities that bring joy. The chapter emphasizes that relationships flourish when individuals prioritize them, continually seeking ways to connect and grow together. It explains that improving relationships is an ongoing process that requires consistent effort, just like any other form of self-improvement, and that the rewards are well worth the investment. Finally, the chapter concludes by asserting that the improvement of relationships is a reciprocal process. As individuals work to improve their relationships, they also improve themselves. By fostering healthy, meaningful connections, individuals gain emotional support, grow in their empathy and emotional intelligence, and develop a stronger sense of self. The chapter emphasizes that relationships are not just about enhancing the lives of others, but also about enhancing one's own life. When people invest in their relationships, they invest in their own personal growth and happiness, demonstrating the powerful link between relational improvement and self-development. The chapter encapsulates the idea that better relationships lead to a more fulfilling life, and that by improving the way we interact with others, we are simultaneously improving ourselves. Chapter 8. Embracing Accountability. Chapter 8 dives deeply into the concept of embracing accountability as an essential tool for personal growth, emphasizing how integral it is to achieving long-term success in any area of life. It opens by discussing the fundamental principle that accountability is not just about acknowledging one's mistakes or failures but, more importantly, about taking proactive steps to ensure growth through these challenges. The chapter stresses that the ability to take full responsibility for one's actions, thoughts, and decisions is crucial for becoming a more effective, self-aware individual. It explains that when people blame others or external circumstances for their difficulties, they disempower themselves, relinquishing control over their lives. Accountability, on the other hand, restores that control, allowing individuals to recognize that they are the architects of their own success and happiness. By owning both successes and failures, individuals learn that every experience, positive and negative, is an opportunity for growth, learning, and improvement. The chapter goes further to explain that, while accountability often carries a connotation of facing consequences for poor choices, it is equally about celebrating victories, learning from mistakes, and acknowledging the efforts required to make progress. The chapter emphasizes that when individuals embrace accountability, they stop hiding behind excuses and begin to see challenges as stepping stones rather than insurmountable barriers. It paints a picture of accountability as a mindset shift that transforms the way people approach setbacks and obstacles. Rather than feeling defeated or discouraged by failures, accountable individuals view these moments as part of the process of becoming better, not as final destinations. This shift in perspective leads to greater resilience, as accountable individuals are more likely to persist through adversity, understanding that growth is often uncomfortable and comes with failures along the way. The chapter stresses that this mindset shift is the key to long-term progress, suggesting that those who resist accountability remain stuck in patterns of avoidance, fear, and inaction, whereas those who embrace it constantly evolve, adapt, and move forward in the pursuit of their goals. Further, the chapter explains that accountability involves honest self-reflection and ongoing practice of evaluating one's decisions, behaviors, and outcomes. This self-awareness allows individuals to clearly see the areas in which they need to improve and to make conscious efforts to correct them. The chapter draws attention to the fact that self-reflection, in the context of accountability, is not about harsh self-criticism, but about constructive introspection. It encourages individuals to ask themselves difficult questions like what could I have done differently, or how can I improve moving forward. This form of reflection fosters a growth mindset and enables people to identify patterns in their behavior, understand their triggers, and make necessary changes. Moreover, the chapter emphasizes that accountability isn't a one-time act, but an ongoing process, one that requires continuous effort and commitment. To remain accountable, individuals must regularly evaluate their actions, set new goals, and hold themselves to higher standards. It suggests that individuals who adopt this mindset are more likely to experience lasting change because they make small, incremental improvements each day rather than waiting for big, transformative moments. The chapter also discusses how accountability nurtures trust and reliability in relationships, both personally and professionally. It explains that when individuals hold themselves accountable, they demonstrate integrity, responsibility, and consistency, qualities that build credibility and trust. This is particularly important in collaborative environments or partnerships where others rely on an individual to deliver on commitments. By keeping promises and taking responsibility for their role in any given situation, accountable individuals earn the respect of others and set a positive example for those around them. The chapter stresses that accountability in relationships strengthens communication, as individuals are more likely to communicate openly and honestly when they know they are responsible for their words and actions. Accountability fosters a sense of mutual respect and understanding, allowing individuals to create stronger, more supportive connections. The chapter also highlights the powerful role of accountability partners in helping individuals stay on track. It explains that having someone to share progress with, whether a mentor, coach, or friend, significantly increases an individual's likelihood of achieving their goals. An accountability partner offers both encouragement and constructive feedback, keeping individuals motivated and focused. This partnership creates a sense of mutual responsibility. Knowing that someone else is invested in your success can be a powerful motivator, pushing individuals to maintain their commitment to their goals. The chapter underscores that effective accountability partners do not just serve as cheerleaders. They also challenge individuals to be honest, confront their weaknesses, and make necessary adjustments. This dynamic creates an environment of growth, as both individuals hold each other to high standards and support one another through the process of improvement. Moreover, the chapter addresses the importance of self-discipline in maintaining accountability. It suggests that while external accountability partners are helpful, the most important aspect of accountability is the internal drive to remain disciplined, regardless of external circumstances. Self-discipline is what enables individuals to follow through on their commitments, even when faced with temptations or distractions. The chapter outlines how self-discipline, when paired with accountability, empowers individuals to consistently make choices that align with their long-term goals, whether it's exercising regularly, sticking to a healthy diet, or following through on professional obligations. It emphasizes that self-discipline is not about perfection, but about consistency and progress, encouraging individuals to be patient with themselves and recognize that true growth takes time. The chapter further explores how embracing accountability fosters a proactive mindset. Instead of waiting for things to happen or for external circumstances to change, accountable individuals take initiative and make things happen. They are action-oriented and focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. This proactive attitude is critical for overcoming procrastination and inertia, two common obstacles that prevent people from making progress. The chapter explains that by taking full responsibility for their actions, individuals can break free from the victim mentality that keeps them stuck. This mindset shift encourages them to take immediate action, make decisions, and pursue their goals with confidence. The chapter also touches on how accountability helps to manage time and prioritize effectively. Individuals who are accountable to themselves and others are more likely to stay organized, set clear goals, and break down large tasks into manageable steps. Accountability, in this sense, promotes a structured approach to time management, where individuals are deliberate about how they spend their time and energy. The chapter suggests that accountability helps individuals stay on track by keeping them focused on what truly matters, pushing them to prioritize tasks that align with their core values and long-term vision. It emphasizes that when people hold themselves accountable, they are more likely to avoid distractions, stay disciplined, and maintain momentum toward their goals. Finally, the chapter emphasizes that embracing accountability is ultimately about taking ownership of one's life and choosing to live with intention. It encourages individuals to stop blaming external factors for their circumstances and start taking proactive steps to change their lives for the better. By embracing accountability, individuals empower themselves to take control of their destiny, make deliberate decisions, and shape their future in ways that align with their true aspirations. It reveals that through this process of ownership, individuals unlock their full potential, experience deeper satisfaction in their achievements, and develop a stronger sense of self-confidence. In essence, embracing accountability is not just about meeting obligations, but about taking full responsibility for one's journey toward becoming the best version of oneself. Chapter 9. Celebrating Wins, Big and Small. Chapter 9 delves deeply into the practice of celebrating wins, whether they are large or small, and emphasizes its significance as a key component of personal development and lasting motivation. It begins by pointing out how people often get caught up in the pursuit of large, tangible goals, like landing a big promotion or achieving a major career milestone, while neglecting the small victories that occur daily or weekly. These small wins, such as completing a challenging task, sticking to a routine, or overcoming a minor obstacle can sometimes be overlooked as insignificant, yet they are fundamental to sustained growth and improvement. The chapter highlights the fact that when individuals fail to celebrate these smaller milestones, they risk losing sight of the progress they've made, which can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and burnout. It stresses that by celebrating small wins, individuals can create a powerful sense of accomplishment that fuels motivation and reinforces the positive behaviors that led to these achievements. This reinforcement is crucial because it helps individuals associate the process of working toward their goals with positive emotions, rather than focusing solely on the end result. The chapter emphasizes that taking time to acknowledge even the smallest of victories can dramatically boost one's confidence, making it easier to keep moving forward. For instance, accomplishing something seemingly minor, like waking up early every day for a week or completing a personal project, can provide a sense of mastery and control, which builds self-belief and empowers individuals to tackle more significant challenges. The chapter also points out that celebrating small wins helps individuals maintain a long-term perspective on their journey. Rather than feeling discouraged by the distance left to cover, celebrating progress along the way fosters a mindset where success is seen as an ongoing process, not a distant destination. The chapter suggests that this practice can also alleviate the tendency to engage in negative self-talk, as it encourages individuals to focus on what they've accomplished rather than what they haven't. It encourages readers to cultivate a mindset of gratitude by acknowledging the effort, time, and energy invested in reaching even the smallest of goals. The act of celebration, whether through acknowledging oneself or sharing achievements with others, creates a positive emotional response that strengthens the connection to one's goals. Moreover, the chapter discusses the psychological benefits of celebrating wins. It explains that recognition of small accomplishments triggers a release of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, which enhances motivation and creates a sense of pleasure in the journey. This dopamine boost reinforces the habit of taking consistent action, as the brain begins to associate progress with positive feelings. By linking effort with reward, individuals are more likely to continue pursuing their goals with enthusiasm and perseverance. This process of celebration also enhances an individual's mental resilience. When setbacks inevitably occur, the habit of celebrating wins helps individuals to bounce back more quickly by reminding them of their capacity to achieve and their previous successes. This perspective allows people to maintain hope and stay focused on their long-term vision, even in the face of temporary failures or delays. The chapter stresses that celebrating wins, no matter how small, contributes to a broader sense of fulfillment and self-worth, making it easier for individuals to stay motivated and inspired throughout their journey. In addition to the psychological benefits, the chapter also underscores how celebrating small wins can improve overall mental health. It explains that acknowledgement of progress provides a sense of control over one's circumstances, which is particularly important when individuals feel overwhelmed by the demands of life or by larger, more complex goals. When life becomes chaotic or unpredictable, celebrating small wins restores a sense of agency, reinforcing the idea that progress is still being made, even if it's not always visible on a grand scale. This can alleviate stress, reduce feelings of helplessness, and create a sense of joy, making the process of growth more enjoyable. The chapter also points out that the simple act of pausing to reflect on one's progress can prevent burnout by giving individuals a moment to appreciate the effort they've put into their work and to acknowledge how far they've come. It emphasizes that the journey of self-improvement is not a linear path, but rather a series of steps, and each step deserves recognition for contributing to the overall progress. The chapter encourages readers to celebrate these steps not just for their outcomes, but for the courage, determination, and commitment required to take them in the first place. The chapter extends this idea by discussing how celebrating wins can foster a sense of community. It highlights the importance of sharing victories with others, whether it's through social media, discussions with friends or family, or support groups. By openly celebrating wins, individuals create opportunities for others to offer praise, encouragement, and support, which strengthens relationships and promotes a culture of mutual encouragement. This communal aspect of celebration reinforces the idea that success is not a solitary pursuit, but one that can be enjoyed and appreciated within a network of people who uplift and motivate each other. The chapter explains that by celebrating together, individuals create a positive environment where everyone feels empowered to pursue their goals, knowing that their efforts will be acknowledged and celebrated. This sense of shared celebration can also act as a powerful motivator for others who may be struggling or feeling stuck, offering them a model of how to stay committed and focused on their own goals. The chapter also touches on the role of self-celebration and reflection. It explains that individuals should take the time to savor their accomplishments, even in private, as this reinforces their internal motivation. Self-celebration does not need to be extravagant or public. It can be as simple as taking a moment to acknowledge the hard work that went into a small task or feeling pride in achieving a personal goal. This form of quiet acknowledgement helps cultivate self-compassion and reinforces an individual's sense of intrinsic worth. The chapter suggests that individuals should develop the habit of recognizing their achievements regularly, regardless of whether anyone else notices or praises them. This self-recognition strengthens an internal belief in one's abilities and encourages ongoing growth, reinforcing that each small step forward is worthy of celebration. Additionally, the chapter discusses how celebrating wins contributes to building long-term consistency in pursuing goals. When individuals celebrate each success along the way, they stay motivated and avoid the trap of constantly chasing the next goal without acknowledging progress. Celebrating wins teaches individuals to appreciate the process, to find joy in the journey, and to understand that success is not just about the end result, but about the small steps that lead there. The chapter stresses that consistency is not about perfection, but about staying committed over time, and celebrating wins reinforces this commitment by giving individuals something to look forward to and to feel proud of. It encourages readers to take the time to celebrate every win, whether it's completing a difficult task, hitting a small milestone, or simply sticking to a routine, because each one plays an essential role in building momentum toward larger goals. The chapter also addresses how celebrating wins can be a form of self-validation, which is particularly important in a world where external validation is often sought. When individuals celebrate their progress, they create a sense of intrinsic validation that is independent of external praise. This form of validation fosters greater self-worth and confidence, as it is based on the internal recognition of effort and progress, not on the approval of others. The chapter encourages readers to shift their focus from waiting for external accolades to acknowledging their own achievements, as this self-validation promotes a deeper sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in the process of growth. Finally, the chapter concludes by reinforcing that the practice of celebrating wins, whether big or small, is essential for maintaining motivation, building self-confidence, fostering resilience, and sustaining progress over time. It underscores that success is not defined by a single, monumental achievement, but by the cumulative effect of the small, consistent actions taken along the way. By celebrating each step forward, individuals can create a positive, motivating environment that propels them toward even greater success while enjoying the process of self-improvement. Chapter 10: Living the Improved Life. Chapter 10 delves into the essence of what it truly means to live an improved life, a life that is constantly evolving and growing. It emphasizes that living an improved life is not about reaching a specific endpoint or achieving a singular success, but about adopting a mindset and approach that fosters growth in all areas of life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. The chapter begins by highlighting the importance of making intentional choices that reflect your core values and long-term aspirations. It points out that improvement is a deliberate process, requiring awareness and mindfulness in each decision. This means choosing actions, habits, and perspectives that align with your desired outcomes, and always pushing yourself to do better, be better, and become better. The chapter stresses that living an improved life is a commitment to continual progress, and the key to this progress is making consistent, small improvements in your daily routines and mindset. It further explains that embracing a life of constant improvement involves developing an adaptive mindset, one that views challenges and setbacks not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. When you encounter difficulties, instead of giving up or feeling defeated, you learn from them and use them to propel yourself forward. The chapter illustrates that living the improved life means shifting your perspective to see failure not as a personal flaw, but as a necessary part of growth. It emphasizes the importance of resilience, pointing out that the ability to bounce back from adversity and use it to fuel your determination is what defines those who truly live improved lives. Each setback is framed as a stepping stone, each failure as a lesson to be learned, which helps build a mindset that thrives on challenges and sees them as valuable experiences. The chapter also speaks about the continuous evolution of one's character and capabilities. It suggests that the journey of self-improvement is endless, as there is always more to learn, more to experience, and more to grow into. As individuals progress, they are encouraged to seek knowledge relentlessly, expand their skill sets, and push themselves beyond their comfort zones. The improved life is one where you are never satisfied with your current level, but always striving to expand your potential. This constant pursuit of knowledge and skill development helps you to stay relevant in a fast-changing world, and also keeps you engaged and excited about life. The chapter talks about the importance of a growth mindset, which involves believing that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed, but can always be improved through effort and learning. By nurturing this mindset, you ensure that you continue to evolve and never stagnate. In addition to the individual aspects of self-improvement, the chapter also emphasizes the significance of relationships in living an improved life. It points out that true improvement is not solely about personal success, but also about enhancing the quality of connections with others. Living an improved life involves nurturing healthy, meaningful relationships, both with loved ones and in your wider community. The chapter encourages readers to be mindful of how they engage with others, highlighting the importance of empathy, communication, and support. It stresses that improvement is not a solitary pursuit, but a journey that is enhanced by the relationships and communities you build. Positive, uplifting relationships serve as a support system, a source of motivation, and a reminder of what's truly important in life: human connection, love, and mutual growth. Moreover, the chapter explores the role of emotional and mental well-being in living an improved life. It underscores the importance of cultivating emotional intelligence, which involves understanding and managing your emotions in a healthy way. The chapter stresses that emotional well-being is foundational to sustained improvement, because it enables you to navigate life's ups and downs without being overwhelmed or derailed by negative emotions. It encourages readers to develop practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or journaling, which can help them stay grounded, maintain clarity, and manage stress. The improved life is one where mental health is prioritized, and where individuals actively engage in self-care practices that nurture their emotional resilience and capacity for joy. The chapter also touches on the idea that living an improved life involves balancing the various aspects of life: work, relationships, health, and personal growth. It points out that a life focused solely on one area, such as career advancement, can lead to burnout and neglect of other important aspects, such as personal well-being or social connections. The chapter encourages readers to take a holistic approach to improvement, setting goals in multiple areas of life, and ensuring that they are not sacrificing one for the sake of another. The improved life requires intentional balance, where you strive to grow in each aspect, recognizing that fulfillment comes from a well-rounded existence rather than from success in one isolated domain. Additionally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of gratitude in the journey of self-improvement. It explains that living an improved life is not about achieving perfection or reaching an idealized version of yourself, but about appreciating the progress you've made and being thankful for what you have. Gratitude is portrayed as a powerful tool for maintaining motivation, as it shifts the focus from what you lack to what you've already accomplished. By regularly practicing gratitude, individuals can enhance their emotional well-being, deepen their sense of fulfillment, and maintain a positive outlook on their journey. The chapter encourages readers to celebrate their progress, big or small, and to acknowledge the effort they've put into making changes in their lives. Another key point made in the chapter is the idea that an improved life is one of continuous self-reflection. The chapter encourages readers to regularly assess their progress, check in with themselves, and reassess their goals. Self-reflection helps individuals stay aligned with their values and aspirations, ensuring that their journey of self-improvement is always moving in the right direction. It emphasizes that self-reflection is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing practice that helps individuals stay connected to their purpose and recalibrate their actions when necessary. Finally, the chapter concludes by reaffirming that living an improved life is about embracing the process rather than fixating solely on the end result. It highlights that the journey of self-improvement is where the real transformation takes place, and by committing to continuous growth, individuals not only achieve their goals, but also create a life that is rich in purpose, fulfillment, and joy. The improved life is not about achieving a specific set of goals, but about living in alignment with your highest potential, embracing challenges, nurturing relationships, and consistently striving to be the best version of yourself. Conclusion. The conclusion of the book takes a reflective and powerful look at the essence of self-improvement, stressing that the journey of becoming a better version of oneself is never truly complete, but is a continuous process that unfolds over time. It reinforces the idea that improvement isn't something that can be achieved overnight or through drastic changes, but rather it is found in the small, intentional actions we take each day. The essence of living an improved life revolves around making conscious choices that align with your higher purpose, values, and goals. These choices may not always be easy, but they are essential for growth, and over time, they compound into significant transformations. The book stresses that the improved life is a result of consistent effort, and it encourages readers to embrace the idea of lifelong learning, acknowledging that there will always be more to learn, experience, and explore. Furthermore, the conclusion highlights that improvement doesn't solely focus on external achievements, but includes internal growth as well. This means recognizing that true improvement comes from within, beginning with a mindset shift that emphasizes the importance of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and the ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. The book reminds readers that setbacks and failures are inevitable, but they are not failures in themselves. Rather, they serve as stepping stones that can fuel personal development if one chooses to view them as learning opportunities. By embracing this mindset, individuals can transform challenges into valuable lessons that add to their personal growth, enhancing their ability to thrive in any situation. The conclusion also emphasizes that improvement is not an isolated experience, but one that is deeply intertwined with relationships and connections with others. The improved life requires building strong, supportive relationships, and it encourages individuals to work on empathy, communication, and understanding in order to strengthen their bonds with others. The book reminds readers that true fulfillment and progress come from a balanced approach to self-improvement, where the development of personal qualities is complemented by a commitment to nurturing healthy, loving relationships. This not only creates a fulfilling life, but also helps others to grow alongside you, creating a ripple effect of positive change that extends beyond the individual. In addition to emotional intelligence and relationships, the book underscores the critical role of resilience in the journey toward an improved life. Resilience, the ability to bounce back after challenges, is presented as a vital quality that enables individuals to maintain their focus and determination when faced with adversity. The conclusion emphasizes that resilient people don't avoid difficulties. Instead, They face them head-on, knowing that each hardship brings an opportunity for growth and a deeper understanding of their own strengths. Cultivating resilience allows individuals to weather storms, navigate through tough times, and emerge stronger, more capable, and more grounded in their own capabilities. The idea of continuous learning is another important theme in the conclusion, as it highlights that personal growth is not something that happens once or in a short burst, but rather it is a lifelong pursuit. This idea is explored in the context of how the world is always changing, and as such, one must remain adaptable and open to new information, perspectives, and experiences in order to stay relevant and continue to grow. The book encourages readers to seek out new opportunities for learning, whether through formal education, books, mentors, or life experiences. By adopting a mindset of curiosity and openness to change, individuals can ensure that they are always expanding their horizons and evolving to meet the demands of life's challenges. Additionally, the conclusion presents improvement as a process of integration and alignment, aligning your thoughts, actions, and behaviors with your deepest values and desires. This involves the continual process of self-reflection, where individuals assess their progress and realign themselves with their goals and values when necessary. The book emphasizes that regular self-reflection allows individuals to stay on course and ensure that their actions are always moving them toward the life they envision for themselves. It suggests that without regular reflection, it is easy to become distracted or lose sight of one's goals. So making self-assessment a habitual part of life is crucial for maintaining alignment. The idea of celebrating progress is also a key element in the conclusion. The book highlights the importance of acknowledging both the big and small victories along the way. Too often, people focus on what they haven't yet achieved and overlook the strides they've already made. The book urges readers to take time to celebrate their wins, no matter how minor they may seem, as this reinforces a sense of accomplishment and keeps motivation high. Recognizing and celebrating your progress not only boosts your confidence, but also helps to create positive reinforcement, making the process of improvement more enjoyable and fulfilling. One of the final ideas presented in the conclusion is a notion of improvement as an ongoing journey rather than a final destination. The book encourages readers to adopt the perspective that living an improved life is a continual process of growth, and that personal development doesn't have an endpoint. Instead, improvement becomes a way of life, a daily practice of striving to be better, whether it's in terms of knowledge, relationships, physical health, or emotional well-being. This mindset takes the pressure off of perfection and focuses on the joy of constant evolution. The conclusion reiterates that this mindset is what ultimately leads to a life that is rich in purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Ultimately, the conclusion stresses that living an improved life is about more than achieving specific external goals. It is about becoming the person you are meant to be by integrating growth into every aspect of your existence. By embracing this lifestyle of constant self-improvement, you can create a life that is not only successful in the traditional sense, but also deeply fulfilling, meaningful, and true to your highest potential. The improved life is not a destination, but a journey, one that requires dedication, effort, and commitment, but is also filled with rewards that go far beyond external success, offering peace, joy, and a deep sense of purpose in every step of the journey.